ready for a real mind bender. We're gonna dive into pollution today, but maybe not the kind you'd think.
Yeah, no, we're not sorting trash today.
This is about, get this, pollution and owning stuff, with a philosopher, Michel Serres, kind of leading the way.
His thing is basically pollution, like the stuff we see, but also ideas and stuff. Humans have used it to say, this is mine, throughout history.
So it's deeper than just like, our oceans are messed up.
Way deeper. Sarah says it's like primal, like think how animals mark their territory.
You're right, they pee on things, basically.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, this is mine. Sarah's is saying we're not that different.
Hold on, we've got laws, property lines, deeds. That's not the same as,
Right. But that's what's wild. Serres looks at all that fancy stuff and says, maybe it comes from that same urge to claim things. He talks about pagus, old Roman landowning, and how it's tied to burials.
You mean, my great-grandpa's buried here, so it's mine.
Bingo.
Yeah.
You're polluting a place, making it yours, even with death, right? Then he shows how we went from that to, like, markers and stones and stuff.
But it still means keep out.
Totally. And here's where it gets really interesting. Serres connects this to, like, factory pollution. He says it's not just oops byproduct, it's us wanting to control even more. Factories, waste, it's all marking territory, just bigger.
So a company polluting is like peeing on the planet to say it's theirs. Okay, that's messed up, but I kind of see it.
And it gets wilder. He brings in dumping, like in economics, selling cheap somewhere else. Not just business, it's dominating, claiming that space.
This guy's mind. But it gets weirder, right? It's not just physical stuff, it's noise, ads too, right?
Right. He calls it soft pollution. Says it's worse, because now it's our senses, our attention thereafter.
So like loud noise, it's taking over how we hear, right?
Exactly. And ads, they want our attention so bad, it's like they want to own what we even think.
And then that makes you wonder, in the age of the internet and all, is it our data we own, or our companies and stuff, are they staking a claim on that now? Like targeted ads, all that. It's like we leave a trail of like digital pollution with every click, every purchase, and companies, they use that. They use it to figure us out, sell to us, maybe even like own a little piece of our digital selves, you know?
It's a tricky thing. Sarah's knew that. But this ownership through pollution idea, it goes even further into some, well, delicate areas. He even talks about men historically and how they've dominated women, if you look at it through this lens.
Now that's getting really interesting. So we're talking about love, sex, all that. How does this pollution ownership thing play out there? I'm hooked.
This is where Sarah's like really makes you think. He's saying when men have had power over women through history, it's like they were, I don't know, claiming ownership there too. He even uses the example of telegony, this idea totally debunked now, that like the first guy a woman's with, it biologically affects all her kids.
Whoa, seriously? Like she's marked or something by who she's been with?
Exactly. Obviously, it's a crazy idea, not scientific at all. But it shows how we've stuck this idea of ownership, like possessing someone, onto women, their bodies, for so long.
And that still happens today, right? Like who gets to decide about abortion and all that? It's ownership, just, I don't know, a different version.
Right. Serres makes us see how power like that, it changes how we even understand ownership to begin with, not just land things, but how we've treated each other too.
Man, it's heavy stuff, but it makes you realize it's everywhere, this ownership thing, how we treat the planet, each other, even online now.
And that's what leads Serres to this, honestly, kind of depressing view of the future. He talks about a world just drowning in pollution, not just trash, but sights, sounds, everything. Like we wanted to ON it all so bad we'd choke the world with it.
It's like that saying, right? Whoever has the most toys when they die still dies. But here, it's not toys, it's everything, right?
You got it. We try to possess everything, and Serres is saying we might ruin the very things we want. So he asks, will all this pollution, this way of owning stuff, will it even leave us anything good in the end?
So, are we screwed? Is there any hope in what Serres is saying, or is it just downhill from here?
He does have an answer, but it means changing how we see things big time. We have to admit that owning stuff, it has limits.
Less mine, and more. What?
More like, we're all just renting this place. Not what can I get, but what can I give? Instead of taking, what can we put back in?
That's deep, man. Instead of always being in control, maybe it's about working together, respecting things, realizing, I don't know, we're part of something bigger.
That's it. And being a good tenant, well, you take care of the place, right? Serres says that's how we get peace and a healthy planet, instead of trashing it like we own it.
Makes sense, but man, that's a big change from how we live now. Like, how do you even start to think that way when everything's telling us to buy, own, have more, more, more?
Oh, it's tough, for sure. Serres didn't give us a step-by-step guide, but he has ideas that make you think.
Like what? Give us something to work with here.
Well, he says we got to rethink all this stuff we think we need, you know? Maybe enjoying experiences, that's a better place to start than always buying new things.
So, less about the latest phone and more about, like, memories, time with people.
Exactly. He also says put your energy into community, sharing things, instead of everyone hoarding their own stuff. Like those gardens everyone shares, libraries for tools, even living spaces, you know?
It's we instead of me, right? That's the shift.
Exactly. We're all in this together, sharing one home.
So we gotta change how we see ourselves and the world, right? Less about grabbing it all, more about taking care of it.
Yeah, like any good tenant, you want to keep your place decent. Serres is saying, Earth, that's our place, and we got to own up to what we're doing to it.
But that's huge, EE. How do we go from owner to tenant when it's the whole planet? Kind of overwhelming, honestly.
Well, it's massive, not like flipping a switch. Yeah. But Serres thought, it starts small. We got to see that what we day matters, even the little things.
Less doomsday, more like every bit counts.
Right. Think about what you buy. Need it. Is there a better way? How's this affecting things? We're bombarded with messages about the good life. Got to question that too.
So not keeping up with the Joneses, more like what actually matters to me.
Exactly. We've got more power than we think. Every purchase, every choice, we're either feeding this ownership pollution thing or saying, nah, there's a different way.
Like we're all deciding what kind of world are we making? Keep consuming till there's nothing left. Or say, we're responsible for this place together.
And that's what Serres leaves us with. It really makes you think. If pollution, all kinds, it's us marking our territory. And now the whole planet is our territory.
Yeah.
What does that say about us?
Whoa. Yeah. Like, we got so obsessed with owning, we claim the whole world, every bit of nature, every creature, it's ours.
Serres, he doesn't give easy answers, but he makes us face that. How we treat the planet, each other, it's uncomfortable to think about.
No kidding. But that's what this deep dive's for, right? Makes you question things, hopefully sparks some new ideas.
That's it. Because sometimes, just understanding the problem, that's the first step to fixing it, you know?
So to everyone listening, hope this got you thinking about this stuff in a new way. Maybe next time you see pollution, literal trash, or even a loud ad blaring at you, you'll remember this.
And hey, maybe those thoughts, they turn into little changes in how you live. Then those changes spread, who knows? Building a better world, one that's fair, that lasts. It starts with each of us taking responsibility.
Not acting like we own everything, but that we're part of it. This amazing, fragile planet, we're all just renting it, really. What we leave behind, that's up to us. So until next time, keep digging deeper, keep questioning, and thanks for joining the Deep Dive.